Hello, so this is a program that's mostly mobility and takes into account some neck pain, knee pain, so I'll give some modifications or discussions about that when we get to it. So let's get started. The first thing, I have this bar here, which is great, but you can use maybe a counter. Okay, and we're going to stand, take a breath in and out. Okay, so now move back just a little bit, and the first thing you want to do is do a pelvic tilt, so you're tucking your butt under like a sad dog, and then shift back the hips. So you're going to start to feel a stretch in the low back, maybe right at the belt line. Breath out, and then come up, and keep your heels down. Keep the pelvic tilt. You're going to feel your abs connect a little bit, and just hold that a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and repeat it. We'll do 3. Rounding the back, feeling the low back stretch. Keep your chin tucked into the throat. And shift up. Keep your pelvic tilt. Look straight ahead. Engage the abs. And last one, shift back. Chin tucked. Shift forward. Pelvis tucked, looking straight ahead. Okay, we'll progress from there. Stick your butt out the other way, so you're almost arching your back without overarching your back. And shift back. Now you'll feel a hamstring stretch. That's a good thing. Okay, this is a hip hinge where your back is not moving, just the motion is happening in the hip here. Your thigh is coming closer to your waist, and you're feeling a stretch in the hamstrings. And then from there, just a sprinkle of a pelvic tilt, so you're not using your back to get up, you're using your hamstrings. And then get back into that plank position. Okay, you can open up your arms a little bit, and then just an easy push-up and back up. The heels can come off of the floor. And then shift back into that hip hinge, chin into the throat, looking for the hamstring stretch, sprinkle of pelvic tilt, plank, push up. Okay, that's number 2. Go as slowly as you need to, but if you can kind of get it, no arch in the back, you can move a little faster and kind of connect the breathing a little bit. So here's the exhale. Up. Hold. Breathe out. Hinge. Let's do 2 more. Up. And back. Last one. Okay, we'll come out of that. And now we'll do a roll down. So chin to chest to throat. Roll the shoulders. Keep on going down, 1 vertebrae at a time, letting the hips shift back a little bit. Okay, you're going to feel a little low back stretching. That's okay. And then try to keep on going. Take the motion into the pelvis and the hamstrings. And then let your head be heavy. Shake it no. And then you're going to wiggle out the legs a little bit. It'll give you more support. And then just shift side to side. Let the tension go. Make sure you're not reaching with the hands. And very slowly, back to center, start by tucking the pelvis and then stacking the spine. Okay. And then hands behind the back. Bring your feet back together, straighten out the elbows, okay? Don't lift off, keep it on the hips. Squeeze the shoulder blades back, so you're getting a chest stretch. Take a breath in, exhale, try to get those ribs down, and maybe a little pelvic tilt. Good, all right. So you might feel a stretch here, that's good, or in the chest. Then put your arms in the front, round the back, tuck the chin, reach with the fingers, and then go sideways one way, stretching the ribs. Back to center, sideways the other way. Back to center. And then arms behind the back. We'll do one more. Straight elbows, squeeze the shoulders, big breath in. Ribs down, pelvic tilt. Keep working on those shoulder blades back. And then repeat in the front. Chin down, sideways one way, making a C shape. Stacking back up, just like in the roll down. Sideways the other way. Stacking back up. Good. And then we're going to shake out the arms a little bit. Open, squeezing the shoulder blades, rounding. So it's an upper back movement too, right? Again, go as slowly as you need to, but if you can kind of get it, you can speed it up. Okay. Hands behind the back one more time, opening up. Good. This time you're going to stick your bottom jaw out like that. Try to keep your teeth together, or if not teeth, then tongue on the roof of your mouth, and look up. And you don't want any sensation in the back of the neck. You want a stretch in the front of the neck. So here we go. Straight, open. And slowly back, and then we'll go up and sideways. And the other way, up and sideways. Come back, great. Shake out the arms again. Okay, onto balance. So the balance is for the standing leg. It's easier if you're holding on here and using this leg. And with all balance tasks, you want to be able to do it. So I know a lot of people will wobble a lot and not hold on, thinking that's helping their balance, where I would much prefer if you've got some extra support there and it's just slightly challenging, but you're able to master it. So that's the first step. The other part is, I'll show you this way. The other part is it's balanced on the straight leg, so don't focus so much on what this one is doing, yanking it, and then this leg is moving a lot. Keep this leg super straight. So up tall, knee straight, holding on, and then we'll kick out straight. Open just enough that this doesn't turn with it, so you have to kind of squeeze this butt a little bit, and then you're going to reach back. I'll show you this way. Up, kick, nice and straight with the straight leg, open, and then reach back. Okay, and when you're reaching back, this leg should have a little bit of a pelvic tilt. Your chin will be tucked, so it's a nice straight line from the top of the head through this leg, knee straight, reaching back. And then you're going to pull up using this leg. Kick, open, reaching back with a little bit of a pelvic tilt so you don't overarch in your low back, straightening out that back leg. And back up using the straight leg. Two more. Open, oops, sorry, kick, open, reaching back. Pulling up, last one. Kick, open, reaching back, pulling up. Okay, let's do the other side. So that one was moving, I'll do this one. Up, kick, open. I don't know if I'll have room back there. Reaching back, kick, open, reaching back. This hand can reach down. If you want to make it more challenging, reach overhead. Open. Nice straight leg. both sides. And last one, kick, open, reaching back. Let's see if we can do it. Good, pelvic tilt, hold those abs in, and then pull it back. Awesome. A new balance exercise. Okay, we're going to pulse four times to the side, and then reach across. I'll show you. Very important to stay straight on the straight leg. 1, 2, 3, 4. Reach across. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Last one. Awesome. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Awesome. Okay, so let's go down on the ground. It's good to get a little something for your head so that your neck doesn't arch when you're down there. Okay, so we're down. Let's first work on breathing. So take just a normal breath in and out. Good. And then we'll bring our focus to our ribs and our pelvis. It's always the best prep work for mobility work and for ab work. So let's start with the ribs. Big breath in. Hold it up there. Feel the ribs move up and out. And then exhale. And they go down and in. Going to hold it up at the top 5 seconds. And the air comes to the top of the lungs, the top of the chest. Exhale. And it gets pushed out. 2 more. Big breath in. And breathe out. Okay, let's see if we can incorporate it with the pelvic tilt, which is tucking the pelvis under like that and bringing the pubic bone, the bottom of the pelvis, to meet the ribs. Okay, if it's, okay, I got this, kind of easy, then you can push your hands to the side here and see if you can pull your belly button in at the same time, and that works the transverse abdominis. So less bearing down and pushing out and more kind of pulling in and tightening. Okay, so big breath in. And exhale, pelvic tilt. And see if you can tighten. Excellent. And then relax everything, pelvis and ribs. And exhale. Hold it. Good. Breathe in. And exhale. Awesome. Okay, next one. Let's do abs first. So you're here. Moving the arms is just going to challenge what's happening with the ribs, because when people raise overhead, they flare their ribs if the mobility isn't there. So you're going to keep those ribs down and try to make that line bigger. Okay, so lock the ribs down, lock the pelvis down, abs, belly button in if you can, and we'll just do 5 overhead. Really focusing on keeping the ribs down. The closer the hands get to the floor. 1, and 2. Good. So I'm using my exhale to kind of keep the ribs down. But as you get the hang of it, I'll show you on the last 2. You don't need to breathe. You can breathe in and out. You just can't breathe big. Okay, so here's my locking, right? And I can breathe in or out, and my ribs stay still. Okay. One more for good measure. Last one. Keep those ribs down. Okay, and then we'll move to the lower abs. So I like to start in tabletop here. This is going to use the position of the legs to help you keep your back flat. But I want to move it a little bit more into challenging, so like a 90-degree or maybe even a little bit more like that. Okay. And let's put the arms back over shoulder height. So already I feel like my lower abs are working. I'm trying to keep the pelvic tilt. And then we're just going to straighten out the leg and come back and switch. Straighten out the leg. So my shin is touching my foot and back. Straighten out the leg and come back. Straighten out the leg and come back. Hug it in. Rock side to side. Big breath in and out. And then we'll do the progression of that, which is this leg is straight and turned out just ever so. And then you're going to keep your back super, super flat and just go as low as you can go where you're going to feel like your back is arching. Okay, so maybe just past the foot and then back up. 1, we'll do 5. And all I'm thinking is pelvic tilt, flat, flat, flat. Good. Doesn't matter how low I go as long as my back is staying flat and it feels challenging. Okay, and then the other side, same thing. If that's too hard for on the back, you're feeling anything in the back that's not like just super comfortable, you can do it this way, still keep the pelvic tilt. Okay, back, back flat, and up. 1, 2, 3, and then in the easier positions, back flat, maybe you can keep your belly button in. Okay, and then we'll hug it in and rock side to side. Just nice and relaxed. Okay, back to stretching. So legs down, one leg up in the air, and then we're going to just straighten the knee and up and down with the foot, feeling the calf stretch and not stretch, stretch, not stretch, and bend and straighten 5 times, relaxing the foot. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we'll put the 2 together. So down, flex, up, point, down, flex, up. Okay. 3, 4, last one, 5, and then we'll do the same on the other side. So up, right? And I'm not moving to the point where my leg is shaking, just shy of that, maybe like 75, 80%. Good, up and down with the foot. Good, and then keep the foot relaxed, and we're doing the hamstring, not moving to the point of shake just before. And then we'll put the 2 together, so down, up, point, down, up, 2, down, up, 3, 4, last one. Awesome. We'll do 1 roll up bridge, tuck the pelvis, roll up. Don't move into a big arch. You want to stay low with the back flat so you get a nice hip flexor stretch. And then roll back down. Good. And then we're going to grab one knee. Let's say I'm grabbing my left knee, my right hip is turned out like that, and I'm going to wiggle my foot a little bit in. And then I want to do a pelvic tilt. And as I do that pelvic tilt, I'll feel a stretch here. This is a modified pretzel stretch if you've watched my other videos. So here I am, I'm looking for my hip flexor and quad stretch, and then I'll pull this one a little bit in to maybe intensify that stretch. And then relax it. Now this knee will go in and out 3 times. And then I'm back out, I'm pelvic tilting, and my left knee is going to open without rocking. So I'm actively pushing my right knee into the mat. 2, One more. 3. And if that feels good, you can even add the hamstring stretch, making sure this knee doesn't move. All right, let's switch sides. Grabbing my right knee, putting my left leg down, wiggling the foot to the point that I'm feeling a quad stretch. Do a pelvic tilt, hold it there, maybe bring the right knee in a little bit. And then I'll move in and out with the knee, touching the right foot. Good. And then stay, pelvic tilt again. My right knee is going to open slowly, keeping the left knee as close to the mat as possible. 2. One more. 3. And then for extra challenge, a little bit of a hamstring stretch. Awesome. And then back in, and one roll-up bridge to stretch that out. Okay, and then down, cross the leg, circle the foot around a little bit. Big breath in, nice and relaxed. And then we'll pull that whole thing into the chest. Feeling a stretch in the glute. Okay, and then put arms in a T. We're attempting to stretch the chest, not the low back with this. I'll show you this direction first. So we did the circle, we did the pure former stretch. We're going to reach that way to have the toe, just the toe touch, and I want to keep this shoulder down. A lot of people will arch their back to get there and they feel it like behind the lower ribs or in the low back. Don't do that. Tuck the pelvis under, get those ribs down, and then the stretch will move into the upper body where the rotation really lies in the body. So once you're there, breath in, fill that upper lobe of, we're doing the left side now, the left chest with air. And then exhale, push those ribs down, pelvic tilt. Good, maybe even squeeze the shoulder blade. Another breath in, exhale, and pull it back. Okay, so I'm going to switch to not face you so you can see what's going on that side. We did the pure formis, right? So now we're twisting. Good, right? My shoulder wants to pop up. I'm not letting it. I'll take a big breath in. And then exhaling, recommitting to the pelvic tilt and the ribs down, and then using my muscles to push the shoulder down. And so now the stretch is happening between the rib and the shoulder. And then in there, we're going to make a fist, lots of tension, and then open up those fingers. One more. Fist, tension, open up those fingers. Good. And then bring the fingers to the ceiling, and the fingers down, fingers to the ceiling, and fingers down. Awesome. Breath in. Ribs down, and use your abs to come back. And now we'll do the other side. Circle around. And up. Great. And down. And then twist. Good. Reaching out with the hand. Big breath in. And out. Excellent. And then make a fist on that side, on my left side, and open the fingers, and make a fist. Open the fingers, fingers up to the ceiling, fingers down to the ground. A breath in, and come back. Awesome. Okay, so we'll just put the feet down like this. You can put your hands on your ribs again, or keep them here. And just a nice, relaxed re-entry into just being. We'll take a breath in. Get those ribs down. One more breath in. Upper lobes with air. Breathe out, ribs down, pelvic tilt, push the feet together, activate the glutes. And one last one. Relax everything, breath in. Exhale, connect to the abs. Squeeze the feet together. Awesome. All right, so that's the little mobility routine that you can do every day or every other day. It's very gentle and it's, I say activating. Wakes up the body for the day. Awesome.